Tanny Games here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here with my top 5 tips for ways you can prep for the update, and if you stick around till the very end there is a bonus 6th tip. So I guess technically this is 6 tips, but we'll just say it's 5. It's a nicer number. But yeah, with the update happening like next week, there's a few things that I would just recommend so that you don't feel behind or unprepared for the update. So before I get into it, don't forget to leave a little like and a comment down below. It does help me out a lot, and it means the world to me when you guys all interact with my content. You're all amazing. All my subscribers and my channel members, you absolutely mean the world to me. So let's go into my first tip. Now, for my first tip, I would recommend that you level up your friendships with your characters just to make sure that they are in the best position can be for the update. Now, with Daisy Duck coming to the valley, I do think that perhaps we're going to need Donald Duck to level 10. We might need Minnie leveled up somewhat. So I do think that in order to be best prepared for Daisy coming to the valley, you should definitely level up your characters. I would think more specifically Donald and Minnie, but we might need other characters leveled up too. It's hard to tell. Not only that, but leveling up your characters can help with potential Star Path duties. We do often find that when doing the Star Path, there are requirements to give gifts to certain villagers and things like that. So it's definitely worthwhile leveling up your characters, or at least unlocking them, so that you can give them any gifts that are required, and that will ease your way through the Star Path objectives. Now, my second tip on recommendation would be to finish Act 1 of Eternity Isle. Now, obviously, this only applies if you have the Rift in Time expansion. So if you do, I would recommend finishing the first act, because we very well might need to have the first act complete in order for us to unlock Oswald. He very well might be tied to the storyline of Jafar and him hiding away and everything like that. So I do recommend that you finish the first act. I don't want to go, oh well, I suppose I've spoiled it a little bit, but sorry. But yeah, I would at least recommend getting that first act done. It should make it a bit more easier for unlocking Oswald and his storyline and everything like that. It does seem like we're going to be able to unlock new areas in order to get Oswald. So I would definitely make sure you've got all your biomes open in Eternity Isle and you have finished that quest line, just to make the transition or the ability to get Oswald easier, because I do think it's going to be a requirement. Now, while we're on the topic of Eternity Isle, I would also recommend leveling up any myths that you need and things like that. We do know that we are getting upgrades to the Hourglass, so I would definitely recommend making sure that you've got enough mist in order to upgrade that. But also, we don't know if unlocking Oswald is also going to require mist. We do know that we needed mist to unlock certain areas of Eternity Isle, so it's very possible in order to get to Oswald we might need to get some mist for that as well. So I would definitely recommend, if you can, leveling up your mist. I've got about 37,000 mist here. I would like to think that's about enough, but truthfully, we can't tell. We can't tell. So just try and level up your mist. You can do these mist duties here, which will help a lot in terms of gathering mist. You can hunt for mist with time bending characters as well, if you have assigned any characters to the time bending duty. So I do recommend doing these to get that mist leveled up. And again, it might make it easier for leveling up your Hourglass. unlocking Oswald. We don't know if we're going to need mist for other items that we might need to craft, so definitely worthwhile doing in advance. Now, my next tip is to actually start stockpiling your night fawns. With the upcoming Star Path, there is regularly the duty to remove night fawns. You do get between 8 or 10 night fawns spawn a day, so if you need to remove 50, it does take about 5 days in order to get that achievement unlocked. So it's definitely worthwhile stockpiling. You never need to do this that far in advance, because there is a cap on the amount of night fawns that you can have in a biome and overall. So I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this for other updates until about a week beforehand. Now, obviously, this tip is mainly for people that like to rush through the Star Path, get the Star Paths done early, or just make it easier for them when doing Star Paths. Say if you're a player that doesn't have a lot of time to game, you maybe only get on for like a few hours a week, or even if that, then stockpiling the night fawns is a really good tip, because it means you're not going to be slowed down when trying to do the Star Path. Now, as a bonus tip to that, if you do have the Rift in Time expansion, you can actually stockpile these Splinters of Fate, because these do also count as night fawns. So if you have the Rift in Time expansion and also the regular valley, well, you would have the regular valley, then you can actually make use of both areas. You can collect the Splinters of Fate and also the night fawns to achieve that task, which will make it a bit easier. Welcome in, Ariel. Not only that, but I do want to say, apparently you can use the ancient vacuums to help clear up these night fawns or Splinters of Fate a bit more quickly. So if you place an ancient vacuum down, collect all the night fawns, that does apparently still work towards your task as well. So definitely another tip that's helpful if you don't have a lot of time to play the game, or just generally like to rush through the Star Path duties to get as many things unlocked as possible. Now, my next tip is to gather star coins. With this new update, there is the potential for us unlocking more furniture in game. We don't know if it's guaranteed, unfortunately, as the update will be focusing heavily on Touch of Magic and things like that. It may be that actually we don't get many new items in Scrooge's, but it's always worthwhile saving those star coins just in case there are new items in Scrooge's. But not only that, when we get items from the Star Path, very often we can buy multiples of that item, and with the parks rides being a thing and the pretzel stands, and it does look like there's little tabletops, we may want to buy multiples of those from Scrooge. So it's definitely worthwhile saving those star coins so that you can spend all your money in Scrooge's store. Now, for my 6th tip, which is the special bonus tip, I would recommend gathering some resources for the Touch of Magic furniture that you can make. We do know that Daisy is bringing with her a Touch of Magic store. We do know there's going to be Touch of Magic challenges. Now, we don't know exactly what those are going to entail and things like that, but it might be worthwhile gathering the resources so that you can craft some of these items for potential Touch of Magic challenges. So we're going to need probably things like softwood, hardwood, iron, perhaps snowballs and glass and fabric, things like that, just to make it a bit easier. It might be worthwhile crafting 1 or 2 of these in advance as well, just so that you're familiar with it. Not only that, but you could also use your time to make some basic Touch of Magic designs. There are very simple things you can do with Touch of Magic, especially when it comes to clothing. If I show you here, we can go into wardrobe, we can press customize, and there's little things like you can make two-tone Touch of Magic Mickey ears. You can even just customize shirts into different colors. So if you decide that you actually want like a nice pink strappy cami top, you can actually just make that very easily. All you need to do is select the style of top or dress that you want, for instance, click on create. There's a little button down the bottom which allows you to change the color, and you could literally create a top in like a different and unique color, and that be it. That is still Touch of Magic. That is very simple. It doesn't require like really any skills at all. Obviously, if you did want to play around with things like shapes or even character motifs and things like that, you can do. You can size up the items. There are buttons so that you can repeat patterns across the t-shirt. There's also ways so that you can sort of reverse and flip the pattern if you wanted to as well. So there's lots of things that you can do with the Touch of Magic tool fairly easily. So it might be worth going into your game, having a bit of a play around and just seeing what you can come up with. Familiarize yourself with the tools and things like that, just so that you're kind of ready for when Daisy comes and brings in the Touch of Magic store and those new challenges, which we really don't know what those challenges are going to be. I'm very excited to find out. So there we have it. That's my tips and tricks for the update so that you can be prepared in the very best way. If these tips and tricks were helpful for you, don't forget to leave a little like on this video. It means a lot to me when you do. If you have any other tips and tricks that you would like to share, why not leave it in the comments down below? It may help out a newer player or even some older seasoned players that may not be aware of different things that you can do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!